Advaita Pancharatnam of Sri Shankaracharya, explained by Sri D.B. Gangolli. This is the third book in the English series published by Adhyatma Prakasha Karyalaya, Holy Narsipura, Karnataka. So here already we have seen I am not the body, the senses, and I am not buddhi or intellect. I am not the manas. Also, we have seen. I am not the mind nor the ego. All this I have seen. This we have seen. Now, I am not the group of pranas. This is the fourth session in this Advaita Pancharatnam. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Dr. Krishnamurti Shastri, Dambe Punacha, Karnataka, India. I am not the group of pranas. Some people in this world, that is, we can say, prana, in the shloka we have seen. I am not the one far from belongs like wife, children. Next point that we will see. नाहं देहो नेन्द्रियाण्यन्तरङ्गं नाहङ्कारः प्राणवर्गो न बुद्धिः दारापत्यक्षेत्रवित्तादिदूरः साक्षी नित्यः प्रत्यगात्मा शिवोऽहम्. This is the shloka we are explaining. In this Naham Deha we have finished. Naham Na Indriyani Antarangam we have finished. Naham Karaha Pranavargo Na Buddhihi Na Ahankaraha we have seen. Pranavargaha Na Buddhihi. So Pranavarga we are seeing now. Prana Varga means the group of pranas. So I am not the group of pranas. Some people in this world have believed that neither are we the body and the senses, nor mind, the intellect, the ego. We are only those who utilize these for our sake or benefit. For example, when I want, I lift up my arm. If it is enough, I put it down. Any object I want, I grasp by hand. If not wanted, I give it up. Any topic I want or like, I concentrate on it and think about it. Any topic unwanted, I neglect and forget. In deep sleep, I dissolve the ahankara or the ego and the mind, or without allowing them to wander hither or thither, I still them at one point. Thus, at whose behest the body, the senses, etc. are functioning, that entity itself is the I. This opinion is not correct. For the power which motivates the body, the senses to function is called prana. The substratum for that prana alone is myself or this I. Just as the ahankara, manas, and buddhi mentioned before are related to knowledge, they are related to prana too. Just as in the transaction I am cognizing this object, we distinctly determine that the I is ahankara, the cognizing aspect is the manas or mind, and the determination of the cognitive knowledge is done by buddhi or intellect. In the same manner, we can determine the motive aspect of prana in all the transactions of the body and the senses. To wit, when we say I do such and such a work. That aspect of it which assumes the kartrubhava or agentship of the action is ahankara. That instrument or means which conceives of the action, say by volition, is manas, and that which takes the final definite decision to perform the action is buddhi. In this way, only after a definite decision with regard to an action is taken, prana starts functioning. The fact that ahamkara, etc., are anatman, meaning not our essential nature of being, we have determined previously. Therefore, prana too, which functions with the backdrop or support of those anatmans, is necessarily invariably anatman alone, not my real self, and this truth becomes self established now. Apart from the prana functioning in the waking on our volitions, it does function without our volitions too. For instance, breathing, the heart beating or pulsating, the circulation of blood, optimum production of various juices like the bile, etc., secreted by various glands or organs, excretion from the body of urine and stools, etc. All such involuntary functions without any manifestation of our volition whatsoever are steadily and continuously being carried out. Because of the reason that thus prana shakti or this vital power or force is variously functioning in our body, some spiritual texts are saying that in this prana there are five vrittis or thought constructs, which is the prana, apana, vyana, udana, and samana. These prana vrittis are also conventionally called prana bheda or different varieties of the vital force. But we may, if we so desire, imagine that in the waking state wherein all of us have a relationship or association with the body, the senses, etc., we do have a relationship with prana. But in a state like deep sleep, wherein we do not have any relationship whatsoever with any second thing than our being, it is very evident that there is no relationship whatsoever with any function also. When we are awake, we can observe others who are asleep and therefore infer that in our deep sleep, without our being conscious or aware of it, several functions are being carried on without let. But in the waking, we do not have the experience of deep sleep. We only imagine in that manner. In deep sleep, which is intuitively and directly experienced by us, there does not appear any trace even of the functioning of prana. Because of the reason that for the purposes of determining the ultimate reality, intuitive experience, anubhava, is a stronger instrument or means of cognition than imagination or inference. The correct interpretation that is to be adopted or accepted universally would be our essential nature of being, Swarupa, neither has any relationship with prana nor with ahankara, which is the substrate for it. In any case, because of the following reasons, prana shaktis are several. They are also undergoing changes. They are being cognized by us as objects. In deep sleep, all of them are completely absent. The unambiguous fact that they too are of gross nature, different from us, that is, our essential nature of pure being. Our essential nature of pure being, which is conscious and is capable of cognizing them, is distinctly different, separate from them, is fully established. Next, I am the one far from belongings like wife, children, dharapatya kshetra vittani, kshetra vittadi duraha, wife, children, farm, wealth, etc. I am the one far from. In the manner In this manner, by deliberation based on the strength of intuitive experience, anubhava, it has been made quite clear, evident that neither the body and the senses, nor the mind, the ego, the intellect, and the prana are our essential nature of being. Now, from this line of thinking or deliberation, another axiomatic truth evolves by itself, with objects like children, etc., which are responsible for selfishness, are not at all related to our Swarupa. For only those who have an innate, deep seated identification of the type I am the body and the senses in them, which are Anatman, have a strong feeling of identification with the objects like wife, children, farmhouse, money, or wealth. Some of these non discriminative, indiscreet people who have such a deep seated identification with the body even go to the extent of actually believing that they are one with their wife, family, and assets, etc. And they are not averse or ashamed of showing off this vain pride in their possessions or belongings. Consequently, such people believe that if the wife or children are happy, they themselves are happy, and if their wife and children are unhappy, they are themselves miserable. If their wealth or land assets, etc., are amassed, they feel in the manner I have consolidated my financial or economic position, I have nothing to worry at all. If they are lost, they bemoan in the manner, oh God, I am ruined. But by dint of the method of deliberation, those who have cognized the spiritual teaching arrived at so far to the effect that our identification with the body as our essential nature of being or self is misconception. Essential nature of being or self is misconception, our identification with the body. In truth, none of these with the body, the senses, prana, the mind, the intellect, and the ego is really related whatsoever to our essential nature of being. Stand far removed from these external things like wife, children, etc., related to our body. It is true that these phenomena like wife, children, wealth, etc., appear to be related to or associated with us very much, but does not appear in the same manner in the dream too. Although wife, children, etc., which appear in the dream are seemingly belonging to us only during that dream period, the moment we wake up, we determine that they truly are not related to us in the least, is it not? Similarly, the relationship that appears to exist herein in the waking too is a mere appearance. It is not real at all. In this way, we have to determine and conclude. So, I am Sakshi, eternal Pratyagatmam, or the innermost self. This point we will see in the next session tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Hare Rama.